Hi guys, welcome back to the TheDiviShow by Big Flex Marketing. You're on episode number 20th. मैं अभी थोड़े टाइम पहले झलाना रिजर्व आपने सुना होगा. there's a leopard safari that goes on there. और इससे पहले मैं रणथंबोर भी गई हुई हूँ for a safari, but हमें कभी वहाँ टाइगर नहीं दिखा था. तो हम बस गए, 2-4 तीतर दिख रहे थे. 1 घंटा हो गया था, 2 घंटे हो गए थे, कुछ दिखा नहीं. उसके बाद 1 लेपर्ड दिखा, 2 लेपर्ड दिखे, 3 लेपर्ड्स दिखे एंड वी वर एक्चुअली शॉक्ड कि इट्स वर्थ द मनी. एक्चुअली लेपर्ड्स हैं. और तीसरी सबसे बड़ी चीज़, अगर एक कार को लेपर्ड स्पॉट हुआ है, विद इन सेकेंड्स अदर कार्स, इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग नेटवर्क उन कार्स का था, सारी जो जिप्सीज होती हैं, that they literally in seconds or minutes they were all there to spot the leopard together. I understand that it's a small park and all, but it was actually how it works was really fascinating to me. तो आज हमने मिस्टर धीरज कपूर को बुलाया हमारे शो पे. He was the man behind Jhalana, along with the Forest Department of India. It was him who actually initiated this project and जो हम आज की डेट में experience कर रहे हैं. So I'm so excited for this one. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the end. Bye bye. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Disha, lovely to meet
Dhiraj.
you. How was your trip?
Trip was nice. It was a family get together from my mother's side. So a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of crowd in the hotel.
Are you that type of a person who likes crowd or
No.
someone who is
No, so that's a complaint basically. I mean, my calling is nature. So the good thing with Udaipur was that it was beautiful, that vapor joy coming and the rains happening throughout. So it was nice and green, and that is the best part of the Aravali Hills, that one rain and it just becomes beautifully green.
And thankfully Rajasthan is raining a lot, तो अच्छी चीज़ है.
So वही था. So that was the best part. Of course, meeting the family, meeting your cousins, meeting their kids is always nice.
Yes. So what I think one of the characters that you just said is why you are a wildlifer, love for nature and peace.
So I've always I'm very different from everybody in my family, in the sense that I like peaceful places. I don't like to be in a crowd and be in big cities. So I always wonder, where do I get it from? So I presume my dad being in the army, so he's always been posted at cantonments are a little away from the city. They're always well kept. There's a lot of greenery. Yeah. And then as an army child, you get to travel a lot and you see beautiful places. So I always whenever I visited my dad, if he's posted in field areas, so I always made it a point to get up early in the morning, go for my treks, explore the area around. So I presume that's what got me close to the nature.
You might have explored India throughout. This was just India?
So he was in the Indian Army. So he was a gunner. So gunners are basically from the artillery who have those big guns like Bofors and all. Okay. So they are mostly either at the forward areas where the guns are deployed, or closer to the northern boundaries, or so basically mostly north and far east as well.
All right. Never thought of joining the army?
Oh yeah, I was never interested. My dad was very keen that I do join the army. Yeah. But I did my hotel management and joined Taj, Bombay as my first job. Then I went abroad on cruise liners.
Yeah.
So did that for almost 6 years, and that was also a boon because you get to travel the world.
Yeah.
And get paid for it also.
Yeah, true.
So cruise liners was a good stint.
Yeah.
Then came back, started bed and breakfast of my own.
Okay.
But since I've been in Jaipur, finally settled, married, Jhalana has been the calling. So होता है ये है ना कि when you are young, people end up going to clubs, going to parties, going out in the evening. So my group and I, we preferred going to Jhalana. Just hanging out there. So that was our club where we used to meet and relax and chill.
So I think a lot of people didn't know that wildlife existed at Jhalana before all of this.
Yes.
Because coming from like my dadi's time, you were telling me about the Adarsh Nagar area.
Yes, yes.
My dadi was one of the few people who landed there after like the Lahore
the partition. So even my family's, my
so she used to tell us that this Dashera Maidan and whole thing, it was just filled with and pahad the, there were sand dunes.
Correct.
And then uske piche correctly the Jhalana area.
Jhalana Kachi Basti was all
wolves and lions and all of these things. But growing up, like we never thought that wildlife literally existed in this.
So the funny part is that when we started working for Jhalana, in the sense that we started working for the animals there, and if I used to tell somebody that there are leopards and that is my pastime, I go and visit and try to see leopards. Really? How far is it? Like 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers from home? I was like, no, it's just about 2 kilometers from home. I mean, I can reach there in 5 minutes. So not many people came to knew about Jhalana. But that's what we thought, that if we can go and see Jhalana, why not everybody in Jaipur at least? And then later on, if Jhalana in Jaipur comes on the world wildlife map, and people know that leopards, and that also in wild, they exist in Jaipur. So Jaipur can actually, see, everybody knows Jaipur for its art, architecture, plus, the forts and the palaces. And wildlife tourism is a very niche sector. A lot of people are interested in wildlife, seeing tigers, going to Gujarat to see lions. But leopards, if you ask any wildlife photographer, leopard is right above tigers. Spotting a leopard is right above tigers.
Wow.
Because see, inherently leopards are very, very shy. Very shy. Though they are much more in number in what tigers are, but they are very shy. So capturing a leopard in your camera is supposed to be a bigger prize than capturing a tiger.
Wow.
So वही था कि when we started working, then we started working with the forest department. Then even we had a very nice minister who got involved and he took us on his team. And then he said कि we have to get this on the world wildlife map and people have to come and visit. So उसके फायदे काफी होते हैं. Tourism तो एक है, but the second biggest फायदा is that if you ever see the map of Jhalana, you have Jaipur city all around it. And if there are no leopards there, this is just a nondescript piece of jungle which is right in the center of the city. And with the population ever increasing, demand for roads and underpasses and overbridges and a lot of demand coming. So agar kuch nahi hoga na, to the forest slowly will be eaten up and will keep on shrinking. So world tourism map पे आने से फायदा ये हो गया है कि nobody even thinks about touching Jhalana.
Yes.
So that was something which was, we should be really proud of having about 20 square kilometers of pristine jungle.
Right.
एक बार भूल जाओ leopards हैं, मतलब जंगल के इतने फायदे हैं. I mean, it's a heat sink.
The climate, whenever you were, I think, passing that route where Jhalana is surrounded, you can feel like a temperature shift, like a cool breeze around that area. So
you're absolutely right. मतलब we get temperatures to 44-45 degrees.
Easy.
आप जंगल में जाओगे ना तो वहाँ पे it'll be like 40-41 degrees. एक बार leopard दिख जाए तो फिर तो गर्मी लगती नहीं है किसी को.
I was just sharing my experience. So what happened was I recently went for this safari and I remember going to Ranthambore also before. तो वहाँ पे तो 3 घंटे 4 hours 5 hours we wasted in the morning. एक तो सुबह उठा दो 5 बजे and then you know you are not getting to see any of the tigers, which was really boring. So that's why I was skipping Jhalana कि यार छोड़ो ना, दिखता तो है नहीं and whatever. And a couple of my friends posted stories. They spotted like leopards and all. So I'm like, chalo, let's give it a try. A couple of my cousins were over. And पहले 1 घंटा तो ठीक है. I think we went in the evening. तो वो time ऐसा होता है कि they are just building it up because they know like 6:30 they come out.
Right.
So they were building it up. तब तक हम तितर देख रहे हैं, तब तक peacock देख रहे हैं. I'm like, dude, this will be a flop show again. And then we spot one tiger, one leopard, and then second, and then third, and I'm like, what is this, you know? And so especially the channel, you know, the channel was so strong. एक बंदे ने call किया and within seconds all the gypsies were there. So I think that is one plus point because everyone gets to then, you know, and it's a small area also fairly than Ranthambore. So
how many did you end up spotting? 3.
One was good. Like sitting पीछे थोड़ा, but we couldn't like clearly see her.
But ठीक है, at least you spotted.
There are 2 cubs and.
So see, Jhalana, as I said, is about 20 square kilometers, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I can actually say it on camera and with authority that Jhalana has the highest density of wild leopards anywhere in the world.
Okay.
So 20 square kilometers में ideally तो आप अगर देखो तो should be about 3 to 4 females and maximum to maximum 2 males. So मतलब 6 से ज़्यादा नहीं होने चाहिए books में अगर आप पढ़ो तो. But Jhalana, we call it, you know, the urban leopard. Some people disagree with it. You can't call it an urban leopard, but we love to call it an urban leopard because they have learned how to adjust.
Coexist.
No, adjust in a smaller area amongst themselves.
Okay.
So, abhi I was just, you know, doing a count of how many leopards we may have. So, at the moment, we have about 30 leopards in 20 square kilometers. So, आपने 3 देख लिए तो 10% तो आपने देख लिए leopards.
Yeah.
So
we were actually very shocked कि you know safari के नाम पे you know this is worth the money. मतलब सब यही बोल के गए थे कि पैसे वसूल हो गए मतलब. And yeah, man, I think the connection also within seconds when we saw all those cars coming in. I think they make sure all the staff of yours कि भाई दिखा के ही छोड़ेंगे, you know.
No, that way is you know, the guides and the drivers. Mostly we don't have guides here. We have mostly drivers who act as a guide only. Are pretty well trained. They are tourist oriented. They want to see show leopards to this thing. But you know, you're in the wild. They are wild animals. They're not zoo animals. So अगर कभी नहीं दिखे तो it is okay, but I would say the sighting percentage is about 75%. मतलब out of 4 safaris you do, आपको मतलब 3 बार दिखने के chances हैं. So it's a good thing, but tourism, you know, is a double-edged sword in any park.
Right.
So थोड़ा सा मतलब and plus leopard, as I said, is a very shy animal. उनको ज़्यादा आप मतलब you can't crowd around. But these drivers, they do a good job. They understand all this, and yes, they you know, the network, as you said, is strong. So वो बुला लेते हैं, but sometimes not the fault of the driver, but sometimes tourists also get overly excited कि भैया पास लेके चलना और पास लेके चलना और पास लेके चलना. So yeah, it has to be, tourism is good, but it has to be controlled and it has to be managed well by the park authorities.
Yeah. I'll get to that part, how you were trying to manage. But in one of the articles, I also read that you can recognize all of them by face.
So Divisha, that was like, you see, I get bored very fast with a thing, with something, if there is no challenge involved in it.
Yeah.
So I started going in 2004 with my friends.
Okay.
And though the jungle is nice and everything was great, we started seeing leopards, we started understanding the leopard behavior, and we started, challenging ourselves to be more smarter than a leopard.
Yeah.
Because leopards are very, very smart animals. I mean, for me, they are the smartest of all the animals which I have seen or I have observed. Because they can just outdo your thinking. आपको लगेगा कि leopard यहाँ चल रहा है तो यहाँ से निकलेगा. And he would go, start moving towards the right, but at the end he will just change and go to the left, और आप right ही जाते रहोगे उसकी तरफ करने से. So we started challenging ourselves कि how to, outmaneuver the leopard to have a better sighting, what critical distance should be maintained so that he is comfortable, we are comfortable.
Yeah.
So वो सब करते करते 2004, so 10 साल हो गए. So there was no challenge left, and I had like thousands and thousands of photographs in my laptop. तो मैंने कहा अब क्या? So I called a friend of mine, Abhinav, and I said, यार Abhinav, you also have good photographs, I also have good number of photographs. Let's start, identifying each leopard so that at least one, there is some work for us to do, and number two, at least we know what is almost the exact amount.
Yeah.
So started from there. We first of all, I should tell you that every leopard has a different pattern of rosettes. So rosettes are those spots which are on the leopard. So rosettes form a different pattern for each and every individual leopard. It's like a fingerprint, basically.
Yeah.
The fingerprints for each individual is different. So rosette pattern for each individual leopard is different. So we started seeing the mug shots as the face shots and started distinguishing, each and every leopard that we had photographed by the face.
Right.
So the first list that we made was of 16 individual leopards.
Right.
So that, started becoming a challenge for me. That जो भी leopard दिखे, अब उसको identify करो, and फिर then start studying out that leopard. उसका area क्या है, where all is it spotted.
Yeah.
So started doing a little bit of research.
This was which year?
This was in 2016.
Okay.
And by 2019, we were able to identify 50 different leopards, which we had seen over a period of till we started photographing them. Today, the list may have gone above 100. From 2011, we have identified over 100 leopards that Jhalana has seen.
Okay.
But फिर उसमें क्या था? Then just to make sure, because every time you can't photograph a leopard coming towards you. So then you have photographs from the left side, you have photographs from the right side.
Yeah.
So we started identifying using the side rosette patterns.
Okay.
So about 100 leopards.
Any of the face marks that you remember of some?
So face marks I would remember, मतलब देख के ही पहचानने के उसमें about 70 को तो मैं पहचान लूँगा. But अभी 70 नहीं है. There are about, as I said, 32 के करीब हैं.
Wow.
So उनको तो face से ही देख के मैं पहचान लूँगा. About 75% I can recognize by face. About 60% I would say without even looking at my chart, I can, if I see a photograph, I can say which leopard is this.
Oh.
So I mean, it's not that difficult, because once you have a mental image of their rosette pattern, then, and because I spend a lot of time researching, studying the photographs, as I said, becomes a challenge for me कि भाई ये पहचानना है.
Right.
So I see, and plus, आजकल Instagram पे होता क्या है और Facebook पे होता क्या है कि the thing that you watch again and again, वो वही चीजें दिखाते हैं. My Instagram is only filled with leopard images.
Yeah.
So that's how it is.
Any of the leopard that you have like a special bond with?
Oh yeah. So there was this female. We haven't seen her for a while now. So she was Flora's. Flora is another leopard. So that Flora was one of our first leopards that we spotted in Jhalana.
Okay.
So उसका जो first litter हुआ, so the litter was of 3. So one was Prince, one was Jalebi, and the third one was Katrina. Okay. So I thought Katrina, that leopard, was very beautiful. And that time Katrina Kaif was, at her peak. So we named her Katrina. Unfortunately, our Katrina, the leopardess, went missing. But she was, that very striking. I mean, I don't know how to say this particular leopard is beautiful or that is beautiful, because for a normal eye, every leopard would look the same.
Yeah.
But uska that skin, the coat tone and the eyes and the way she used to look at you.
Yeah.
So yes, एक Katrina hai, and the other this thing, one male leopard I really used to like was we named him Katappa.
Okay.
So वो Katappa इसलिए किया because तब हम अपनी कार में जाते थे. So we were taking a circle of a water point. So we had taken the circle, we were going back. Suddenly I was driving in the rear view mirror. I saw a leopard like thing coming on the water point. So basically leopards are very smart. They know that the car is leaving. Now it is okay to come to the water point to have a drink.
Yeah.
So there was a friend of mine, Dhiraj Kapoor, he was sitting with me. So I said, we call him DG. So I said, DG, there's something on the water point. It looks like a leopard, but I'm not very sure what is it.
Yeah.
So we turned around, we approached very quietly. It was definitely a leopard, but totally disfigured. It had no ears, and one side was totally no ears. One side was totally, the ears were bitten off. So many scars on the face. Body was long but very, very thin.
Okay.
So we took a photograph. We sent it to our vet, the forest department vet. So we said, "Yaar, this leopard looks very old. Can you guess the age?" So he said, "Kab dekha? Kahan dekha?" So we said, "Jhalana mein, aaj ya kal, whatever dekha." So he said, "This is unbelievable because this leopard looks as if he's 16 years old, and usually leopards don't live that long in the wild." So the story I'm trying to say is that these leopards, though it had a totally disfigured face and no canines, no teeth left, but still it was surviving. So it's all about how you're able to survive and conduct yourself in the wild, or what the passion to live, the will to survive is something which was.
What's the lifespan of a leopard?
So usually in the wild it's about 14, 15. So we saw him when apparently he was 16. We saw him for another year. So he must have turned 17 as per the vet.
Yeah.
And then we stopped seeing him. So that time this Bahubali was released, and Katappa was the character, the old wild character Bahubali.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, every leopard sighting is special. I mean, I must have done, I don't know, about over 700 leopard sightings. But if you ask me, if I show you a photograph, I would still remember कि ये leopard sighting कैसे हुई, हमने leopard को कैसे पकड़ा, track किया.
Yeah.
So every leopard sighting for me is special because.
Do you remember your first one?
Yes. So I think it was 2010, 2011. That time, अपनी cars were allowed.
Okay.
So cars were allowed, but yes, you had to take permissions from the forest department to go inside. So हम लोग तो 2004 से जा रहे हैं. So this was 2010, 11 or 12. I really don't remember exactly. So we had taken permission to go inside.
So for 6 years you didn't see a leopard?
First few years, so we were not going inside the tracks. First few years, so we were just going on the mandir track towards the mandir and just sitting and relaxing, having a cup of tea, or kabhi मौसम अच्छा है तो समोसे ले गए. And you're allowed to do all those things on that track. But slowly then, the forest department, the forester, the ranger started seeing that these people are really, really interested in jungles. And so हमारी बात होती थी, and we used to help them. पहले तो क्या budgets भी नहीं होते थे, and tankers से पानी भरते थे.
अच्छा.
तो हम लोग we used to help them with पानी का टैंकर मंगवा दिया या कुछ भी कर दिया.
अच्छा.
So then they started realizing that these people are there for us and working for the wildlife. So हम लोग यार leopard दिखा दो. So they started taking us inside, allowing us going inside, and slowly started to know more forest officers and started sitting with them and discussing what we can do for the leopards and all those things. तो वो सब start किया. So yes, it was like took us 6 years to actually spot a leopard. So that evening we were like returning back. It was, the sun had set and it was almost dark. It wasn't dark, but it was almost dark. And suddenly this leopard walks right towards us. and seeing us, he sits on his haunches right in the middle of the road.
Achha.
And the excitement level had totally gone through the roof. I really can't explain. I mean, I'm really ashamed of myself that things which were shouting and shivering and piche lo gaadi ye karo wo karo, which I would never ever do now. So that was my first ever leopard sighting.
Wow. And thanks to you now, I think there's a 10% fail rate of people seeing it, and you waited for like 6 years to see that. So.
Well, thanks to me, though, nahi, I mean, it's a team effort. I think, the forest department, we always end up blaming the government or the bureaucrats. And of course, we have the right to, put forth our displeasure to them. But I think the forest department has done a wonderful job with Jhalana. Even without us going inside, before that also they were providing them food. Not food, providing them water, providing them good environment to live, making sure that people are not going inside. The grazing kam ho rahi hai, the wood cutting kam ho rahi hai. So protection has always been there. We've just worked with them to give our ideas, give our inputs to make it a little more better, and to have tourism started to make it a little more sustainable. I mean, the sustainable tourism start हमने इनकी मदद से ही करवाया.
I have a small word association for you, wherein I'll say a word and you'll have to tell me what you any thoughts on that thing. Wildlife.
Passion.
Nature.
Beautiful.
Tourism.
Double-edged sword.
That was very nice. Your favorite animal or your spirit animal?
It has to be a leopard. I mean, I have leopard pug marks as a tattoo. What else can I say?
Your thoughts on endangered species?
Unfortunate. If you ask for my thoughts, I mean, it's unfortunate that we have animals going as endangered because it is our fault. We've taken over their land, we've taken over their place to live, or we've killed them for our own benefits. So it is really unfortunate. I mean, we humans think that we are the superior race. We are maybe we are the superior race. If you if you think like that, it's okay. But you can't play God. You can't kill people for your pleasure.
It's like disturbing the ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Altogether. Any sustainable practices that one can follow, or anyone who is visiting Jhalana, what should they keep in mind?
Anyone who's visiting Jhalana, I think they should, because see, Jhalana is only about leopards, right? But when you go there, please don't think it's only about leopards. You have to see the ecosystem, the nature, the jungle as a whole. I understand the guides are oriented towards showing you leopards, so they don't stop for birds. They don't stop to tell you different kind of every zone has its own ecosystem. So if people get involved on all those things, so even if you don't spot a leopard, it's fine. You will enjoy the jungle. Otherwise, one basic thing that you need to keep in mind is plastic is the biggest bane to our ecosystem. Please do not carry anything. I'm not telling you to stop using plastic, but just don't carry anything which is not biodegradable inside, because बहुत लोग को देखा है इधर उधर फेंकते हुए, and it is just a pain. Otherwise, enjoy the jungle. I'm sure you'll see a leopard. Definitely you will see, and if you don't see, the jungle wants you to come back again.
They'll think of this conversation when they spot a leopard.
Absolutely.
Your thoughts on ecosystem?
It's a very fragile thing, and I mean, we made it fragile because we've done a lot of, as humans, we've try to destroy it by using artificial things like, ozone and freon, all these sorts of gases, and polluting vehicles. So it's a very, it's a man-made issue which only a man can solve. I'm sure governments and local civic bodies are doing their bit to save the ecosystem, but each and every individual has to make a conscious effort individually. मतलब ये नहीं सोचना कि यार वो उसकी गाड़ी पोल्यूट कर रही है तो एक मेरी गाड़ी और पोल्यूट होगी तो क्या हो गया. But ये ecosystem is something that we all live in. We also form part of the ecosystem. After that, our generations will also live. So the air which we are breathing now, if you think it's fresh, our children or grandchildren also deserve the same fresh air what we are breathing. So do your part. It's not very difficult. Just be conscious of what you're doing. Don't make things a habit, because things are habit in the sense of make good habits.
Yeah.
Don't form bad habits.
Right. And the last word was Jaipur.
Jaipur and tourism, or Jaipur and Jhalana?
Jaipur and Jhalana.
So Jhalana, I would say, is like Taj होता है किसी के सर पे. So I would say Jhalana is the Taj on the kingdom of Jaipur.
The Rajas.
The kingdom of Jaipur. We should be proud of our as we are proud of our cultural heritage. We should be proud of our natural heritage as well.
Right.
It's a beautiful city. We are much cleaner than a lot of other cities. And Jhalana, the 20 square kilometers of Jhalana, Amagad aur bhi hai. We should be really proud of it, that we have over 30 leopards staying in our midst, which are a part of Jaipur.
Yeah.
So go, enjoy, take your kids with you, let them see leopards in the natural environment. And agar nahi dikhta, don't get disappointed, go back again. And also there's a interpretation center there which we were part of choosing the photographs, and we made sure that everybody used to visit Jhalana that time from Jaipur, just to give this thing of sense of ownership.
Yeah.
We made sure that we use their photographs with credits to them in the interpretation center. So wo bhi dikhaye. It's a beautiful place to be.
Wow. Thank you so much.
No, it was a pleasure, Devisha. It's nice because I've been seeing your blogs, and you usually do entrepreneurs and people with art, architecture. So it's nice to have people involved in nature as well.
Yeah. You're the first one in the category.
No, it's good because we should be proud of what we have.
Right,
And youngsters usually see these blogs, and if youngsters get involved somehow, if wildlife appeals them, if nature appeals them, then this is how people get involved. So.
If you have any, do you seek volunteers, or if anyone can help? So
I am a private person who helps the forest department. So I'm not with the forest department.
Right. So
I do my bit for what I can do as an individual.
Right.
But yes, there are a lot of NGOs which work in and around Jhalana.
To name
so there is Raksha. There is Hope and Beyond. I can only remember these two right now, but they are the best, and they do take volunteers, not just for Jhalana, but for any issues with animals in and around Jaipur. So a lot of rescues, they do a lot of rescues, snake rescues, bird rescues, wild animal rescues the government has to do. They can't touch them, but they do assist the forest department with wild animal rescues.
Right. Great. I think if someone joins in from the show's community, I think I'll be way too happy.
So I'll introduce you to Raksha Wale, the one who runs Raksha, and also Hope and Beyond.
Yeah.
They both do a very good job. In fact, Hope and Beyond, Joy Gardner, he's done a lot of good things in the periphery of Jhalana. Sensitizing the local village population about Jhalana leopards and all these things. So yeah, I'll connect them to you. उनसे बात कर लूँगा.
Wonderful. Thank you so much again for
Pleasure.
tuning in.
No, it was nice. It was a good drive and a good talk.
That's all that I need. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye. Had a wonderful conversation with Dhiraj. I hope you loved it too. Honestly, मैं बताऊँ तो झलाना का experience for me like outstood a lot of things that I've done while traveling. And you should definitely experience it too, even if you are traveling to Jaipur or you stay in Jaipur. It is one of like really the most amazing experiences. Forts and all we are very used to now, so try something different. And if you have been to Jhalana, tell me in the comments below how your experience was, and I'll make sure that Dhiraj reads all your comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.